How's it hanging, dudes? My name is Sean and welcome back to another Cyberpunk 2077 video. Today's just going to be a quick short update. I'm not going to really get into a whole lot, but there has been a little bit of news, some more speculation, rumors, stuff like that coming out. Other stuff that's kind of, confirmed-ish. So Cyberpunk 2077 and CD Projekt Red's next AAA RPG will both be out by 2021. That's pretty ambitious, right? So CD Projekt's big thing right now is Cyberpunk 2077, but in case you'd forgotten, it's working on another major RPG too. And even though we have no idea what the second game is at this point, it's actually scheduled to be out pretty soon. The company said in a recent forum post that the plan is to have it, talking about Cyberpunk, released by 2021. The company said in a recent forum post that the plan is to have it and Cyberpunk released by 2021. That's right, both games, guys. The original post is in Polish, and so the standard Google translation, mangling applies. But this is what it says after we run it through the machine. As for the strategy of the CD Projekt Capital Group of the years 2016 and 2021, its plan for the release of the second AAA game until 2021 remains unchanged. We are currently focusing on the production and promotion of Cyberpunk. We do not want to commit to further projects. I can understand that. So the strategy was laid down 3 years ago, and the very vague breakdown of the 4-year period between 2077 and 2021. The document says that CD Projekt will, among other things, release Cyberpunk 2077 and another AAA RPG title in that time frame. Cyberpunk is obviously the eye grabber here since we've actually laid eyes on it, but I think that the fact is the unannounced game remains on track is the more interesting part of all this, because CD Projekt has remained preternaturally silent. I don't even know what that word is. Is that a word? Preternaturally silent? Anyway, okay, that's first for me. About it no longer, and the most of us probably realize 2021 really isn't all that terribly distant. Especially when you consider that Cyberpunk 2077 was first announced 7 years ago, and it might seem unlikely that CD Projekt could take this long to make Cyberpunk and then punch out another big-time RPG in such a relatively tiny time frame. But the reference in the strategy doc suggests that the wheels have been turning on this mystery game for a number of years as well. Not as the same scale as Cyberpunk 2077 presumably, but enough for the studio to remain committed to the time frame. Obviously, all this leaves open possibility that Cyberpunk could be out this year and or 2020, 2021. The great thing about it being the first half of a 4-year plan is a lot of room to wiggle, but it's likely still a good way out. CD Projekt warned earlier this month that even though the developer is well along, its work on it is still far from over. As the unrevealed project, I've emailed CD Projekt confirm, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we're done with what this guy got to say. So, my thoughts on this is that second game, it'll probably either be a richer title, if they have been working on it for, could that be the reason why that Cyberpunk 2077 took so long, is because they're working in tandem with another developer, which might be also the reason why they've hired so many people on. All speculation on my part. The only thing we know for sure that's confirmed. Sorry, that was my phone. The only thing we know concerned for a fact is that they will have both games out by 2021, or that's their plan to have them out by 2021. Now, a lot of people say because of the grant, the Polish grant that they have gotten, the grant will force the deadline by June of 2019, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean they could push that June date back as long as they show everything they've been working on for whatever game that grant was for is actually, need be, right? If everything's meeting requirements. It doesn't, we don't really know nothing. A lot of these things can be changed. There's a lot of, closed door dealings and stuff like that. So don't get your hopes up for a 2019 release. And if there is a 2019 release, it could be that second game. They could just be keeping that under wraps completely. I don't know. It's all speculation. We don't really know. I am looking forward to all of this. I seriously am. So really, there's not really much anything new that we know for sure, except for by 2021, we should have 2 AAA titles. I still remain skeptical for a 2019 release. I think it's hopeful. I really do. I would love a 2019 release, but it is what it is. I hope they take as long as they possibly need for either one of these games, as long as monetary financial stability holds out, right? And if you've ever slept for 14 hours straight, woke up and then wanted to go back to bed, make sure you like and subscribe, and until next time, piss off.
2 to the 1, 1 to the 3. I like good pussy and I like good trees. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe. And I I get more ass than a toilet seat. 3 to the 1 from the 1 to the 3. I met a bad bitch last night in the D. Let me tell you how I made her leave with me. Conversation and Hennessy. I've been to the motherfucking mountaintop.